So if we take questions from the Austrian journalist press first, who wants to go first? Thank you.
Wie schätzt der Trainer die österreichische Mannschaft ein? Was sind die besonderen Stärken? Worauf muss Wales Acht geben?
All right, so the question to the head coach. How do you, what do you think about the Austrian team? Where do you see the strengths? And is there anything you need to be aware of when it comes to Team Austria?
I think they had a fantastic campaign. I think they had a fantastic campaign in the build-up to the Euros. They won 9 games, 1 draw. So obviously we know they're a good team. They're very strong in campaign football. Didn't go so well for them in the tournament. An early exit. But as we found out, doesn't matter what's happened in the past. It's all on tomorrow night. It's the 90 minutes. It's who's ready, who's prepared. So whether they've got strength or weaknesses, the same as us. It's who's ready for the night. It's who's ready for the game tomorrow night. And that's how we see things.
Next question.
So do you consider yourself or the Welsh team as being semi-finalists, as favourite for tomorrow night? Sorry.
Semi-final is finished. It's not going to help us tomorrow. It's whatever we did in the tournament, however well we played in the last game. It's nothing to do with that. It's all about tomorrow night. Fresh challenge, new challenge. So forget what we've achieved in the tournament. Forget what Austria did in the last campaign. Doesn't matter. It's all about tomorrow night.
Die Nachfrage der Favoritenrolle. In Österreich hat man sich recht schnell darauf festgelegt, dass Wales der Favorit ist. Ob das der Teamchef auch so sieht.
Well, in Austria, the people basically said quite early that Wales will be the favourite tomorrow night. Do you think alike, or do you think the same?
No, I think we see Austria as a big challenge for us. Good team, fantastic record in campaign football, like I've already said. But you know, we won't be going into the game thinking that we should be winning or we're the underdog. I think it'll be a good game, 2 good teams, and we are very much looking forward to the opportunity of playing against one of the teams that will be looked upon as one of the favourites to progress from this group.
Just take one more question and then we'll...
Warum trainiert Wales im Happelstall und gibt es kein Abschlusstraining?
Well, why isn't there a final training here in the Ernst Happel Stadium? Is there a reason for that? Why there isn't a final training of the Welsh team here in the stadium? Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, we trained at our hotel, at our training ground, which we normally like to do before we travel. So we've already done the training session.
Just the last one.
Coach Coleman, das erste Mal willkommen zurück in Wien. Am 29. April 1992 hatten Sie ein besonderes Spiel. Nebst diesen Finalen gekommen sind. Was sind da für Erinnerungen hochgekommen? Was ist in diesem Spiel Wales gegen Österreich vor fast 25 Jahren in Ihrer Erinnerung?
Well, just welcome back to Vienna, because on the 29th of April 1992, you were here, and it was quite a special day. Do you have any, or what are your memories when you return to the stadium or to Vienna?
Thank you. Yeah, it was my debut for Wales, my first game. We were losing 1-0, and I scored in the last couple of minutes of the game, and we drew 1-1. So it was my first experience of international football, and of course I was very excited, and it was a it was a surprise because the type of football that I'd been used to was completely different. So it was my first taste of international football. But it was fantastic. I remember we expected that there would be probably 15,000 in the stadium. There was probably something like 40,000, and the atmosphere was fantastic. So I hope it's the same tomorrow, same fantastic atmosphere. And hopefully it'll be another good game. I'm sure it will be.
Okay, if we just move on to the Welsh press. Rob, do you want to go first?
Chris, you've had one or two injury problems this week. Is everybody okay now?
Yeah, we're all good. Yes, we've been here before. To be fair, where we get the guys in with us, and one or two are carrying maybe a knock, and you want to assess them and give them a chance to prove their fitness. Sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. So it's a shame we lost Churchy, who's a valued member of the squad and a lot of experience with us. But we never take the risk. We wouldn't do that. So Simon's gone back. And hopefully they can sort his injury out and he'll be back as soon as possible. But everybody else, yeah, we're all okay. We're all ready to go pretty much.
Interesting press comments here at lunchtime. Marcel Collar, your opposite number, we asked him about Wales in the Euros, and he said you were lucky. How lucky were you in the Euros?
I think the thing is, everybody has a little bit of luck. I think maybe he's referring to when Ben Davies kicked it off the line in the first minute, but that's not luck, that's good defending. So Ben Davies is a part of our team doing his job. Bad luck we had in the first game where Slovakia should have been down to 10 men when we were 1-0 up and we should have had a penalty. That was bad luck, but we came through that. So the fact that we played more games than most, we had more opportunities than most. So you have more opportunities and you play more football, you get a bit of good luck, you get a bit of bad luck. But no, I wouldn't put our semi-final achievement down to luck. You can get lucky over a space of 90 minutes sometimes, but you don't achieve that by being lucky, that's for sure. And we had a little bit of luck here and there. We had bad luck, just like everything else. But the reason for our achievements is because we're a good team. And we weren't, a lot of teams went into the tournament with big reputations because they'd had fantastic campaigns, but they couldn't handle the pressure in the tournament. And our team, our players handled the pressure. So, no, luck. I think that's just, we had more opportunities because we were on show more than most others because we progressed in the tournament.
Is that your team talk written for tomorrow night in the dressing room?
I think he was. I saw it. I think he was very complimentary also in a lot of comments about us. And I can see where he's coming from. I don't have to, these boys know what's at stake. I don't have to. And one thing we don't do is worry or concentrate on anybody that's got anything to say about us. You hear all sorts of stories being said about us, about how we work, what we do. Not necessarily true. We concentrate on ourselves. We know the game plan. We know we need to stick to that. We give all opposition respect because you can't afford not to at this level. But one thing we do is concentrate on what we've worked on in training, how we play, and it's all about us. It's always about us, and tomorrow will be no different.
Are you enjoying the tag of group favourites? Because everybody is making that.
We said people will look at us differently. Tactically now teams maybe shape up a bit different to what they would have done before against us, but that's just another challenge for us that we need to meet and overcome. We did it in the first game against Moldova, which is always going to be a tough game, but the lads were fantastic. They executed the plan. They were brilliant. But each game is a different one. Now we're in Austria's back garden. The pressure's on them to win the game also. Pressure was on us to win the game at home to Moldova. Austria are at home, and the pressure's on them to come and win the game. That's not to say that we won't be looking to do the same thing, but, it's not like we're playing a team that are you know, really lowly ranked and not done anything in the last 2 or 3 years. This Austrian team have done very well. It's a shame they didn't really produce what was expected of them in the tournament, but up until then they did very well. So this will be a tough game for us, but there'll be pressure on them tomorrow to come and get the 3 points also.
And just finally on what he said, he was quite honest that there was a plan for Gareth Bale. In his words, there were going to be 2 or 3 players in the vicinity as soon as possible, as soon as Gareth Bale got the ball.
It's normal. That's not a new game plan, you know. That's what he faces every week with Real Madrid, and that's what he gets when he plays for us. But we were asked that when we played Belgium, you know, up against Hazard. We played Portugal up against Ronaldo, and like I've said, you can work as much as you like defensively, and you can shut these players out for 89 minutes, and in a split second they'll change it. They'll change everything. So, you know, it's very, very difficult to come up with a game plan when you're up against brilliance, and that's what Gareth Bale is.
And last one to you, Chris, or last couple. Back home, there's been managerial carnage. I'm sure you've seen it. You must be glad you're out of that. You're the one Welsh manager who's not under pressure at the moment. But how do you feel for particularly Paul Trollope, who was part of your team in the Euros?
Yeah, you know, the industry we're in, we know what it's like. Paul, same as me, the same as everybody, Francesco, and as soon as you walk in the door, you know it's results driven, and you get them or you don't get them. And, you know, we know what the pitfalls are, we know the dangers, and you just learn to live with it. It's never an easy situation when you find yourself, you know, in that situation, and I've been there before. It's tough and it's difficult, but you get through it. You know, I know Paul will get through it. He's a good character, he's a tough character, very professional, and he'll be fine.
You think he won't be able to work too long?
No, he's good. He's a very, very good coach. And that's just, you know, I think he's had 10 games there, and that's where football is at the moment. You don't get a season anymore. You're lucky if you get half a season. You don't really get a chance to build unless results go really well early doors. Potential, you know, when people talk about managers with potential, it's nonsense. Because potential, you need to have time to fulfill that potential, and you don't get that as a manager. So that's the industry. We all know it, and there's no surprises for us. We know what can be around the corner for any of us.
But finally, you need those successes, Bradley, Warnock, whoever Newport choose, to really push on for Welsh football, don't you?
They'll be wanting to push on for themselves. They won't be worried about Welsh football. When Welsh football is our priority, they'll just be wanting to do a good job for themselves and for their clubs, and you know, that's what they should be concentrating on. I'm sure that's what they will.
Ash, can I just open it up for other people? I'm sorry, because obviously with time and everything, who wants to go next?
Ash, first away game since the Euros is the biggest away travelling support for over 10 years apparently. You know, talk us a little bit about what it all meant to you out in the Euros, to having them there, and what it's going to be like to have them here again tonight, or tomorrow night.
I've always said that the travelling fans are brilliant, and we saw that in the Euros throughout. I think it was unbelievable. You know, I think at times when you need a lift, they was giving it to us, and so, you know, hopefully they come in numbers, as you say, tomorrow night, and, you know, can drive us on again. And I think they know how much we appreciate them. You know, they're massive for us, so hopefully they can, you know, stick with us and keep pushing us on.
Chris, just going back to your debut quickly, if you could get a win tomorrow night, would that sort of top what you did all those years ago?
Yeah, to be honest, I think you probably always feel it more when you're a manager than you do when a player. You're taking responsibility for everyone. When you're a player, you know, you've got to concentrate on your own game. So, and it was obviously a long, long time ago, but, you know, it was, like I said to the gentleman earlier, the atmosphere was fantastic. Great experience for me as a young player. Now, beginning of a campaign again, it's, you know, every game is so important. Every time we get a positive result in a campaign, the next game is always a little bit more important to keep the run going. And we're up against one of the favourites for the group tomorrow. They're a good team. So we look forward to it. It's going to be an exciting game, I think, you know. Yeah, I think if we get a result tomorrow, that would mean more to me.
Can I ask Ashley, please? Did the players take note of the comments from the opposition coach that you were lucky at the Euros, and what did you guys think about those remarks?
No, not too fussed, to be honest. You know, we deal with it all the time in our job, and you know, people have got a lot to say one way or another. So you're used to dealing with it. We haven't even spoke about it. You know, I think probably all seen it on Sky Sports, but you know, it's not really an issue for us, to be honest.
Ash, obviously very early in the tournament, but the next two games and then looking to the game in November as well, a long break after it. How much of an opportunity are you seeing as a group to really get yourself ahead of the pack going into that long break?
Yeah, it's obviously important, you know, to get a positive result, you know, especially in these next two games, starting tomorrow. And as you say, a break after, a break after November. So, a break after November. So it's important, you know, to go into that with some points on the board like we did last time, and to try and be at the top end of the table. So yeah, we understand how important it is definitely tomorrow night.
Martin Lang from Australia. I have two questions in one. First of all, I think you made a tremendous development under your management in the last years, especially at the tournament like the Euro Wars. Do you think that your team is well developed in tactical cleverness? And because, well, team was famous for playing full speed with a lot of pressure. Do you think as well in this qualifying you already developed more with tactical cleverness? And what's about the hunger to make history and to succeed in the modern football first time for a World Cup tournament?
Yeah, good questions. I think on the tactical side of things, I think as a coach, you can be as good as you like as a coach, and you can have as much tactical knowledge. If you haven't got the tools to work with, if you don't have the players that are susceptible to taking the information on board and trying to put into practice what you've worked on, what you've trained, doesn't matter. You know, you need the team, you need the players that are willing to work hard and willing to listen, willing to get better as a team, and willing to sacrifice sometimes their own game for the sake of the team. And we got that. So yeah, we are, I think, because of our experiences against a lot of good teams, yeah, we're very, very well organised, and we've won all types of different games. You know, and our performances have not always been fantastic in terms of creating loads of chances and playing great football. Sometimes we do that. Other times we need to win in a different way, but we're able to do that. And to do that, you need to be tactically good. And you know, I think the players I've got, the players we have now, they are tactically very, very good, but you need to be. Against good teams at the top level, you need to be tactically aware. And I think, to answer your second question, it's never enough. It can never be enough. Anything you've just achieved is great, and it's a fantastic experience. When you've worked as hard as we have to get what we got was fantastic. It was, you know, it was a dream, but it's finished, it's done, it's gone, and it's behind us. It's always the next one now. And now we find ourselves in a very exciting moment, because all eyes are on us. How far are we going to go in this next challenge, in this next campaign? But I try to say to the players, just remember how far you've come in a short space of time, which is a hell of a long way. And you can't do that just by being lucky, and you can't do that just because we've got good team spirit and we've got incredible team spirit. You need talent and ability also, and a tough mentality, and we tick all the boxes. So the hunger and desire is still there from all of us. I promise we don't think about yesterday. It's gone. It's always about today and tomorrow. And I think that hunger and desire is still there with this group of people, and that's vitally important if we're going to emulate the success we've had in the last campaign.
Just take a couple of questions from Rod for Ash, and then we'll take some questions in Welsh for Joe.
Ash, the last qualifying campaign was notable, but the big difference was you were picking up points away think 2 years ago, the point in Belgium. How much did that do for you, and what does it mean to go away from home and to be able to go back with a reward?
Well, I think if you want to qualify, you have to pick up points in difficult places, and you know, as I said before, we'll be looking for something from the game tomorrow night. So as you say, we can take back and then try and win the next game and put ourselves in a good position.
And specifically the Belgium game, the point there, that seemed to bring a lot of people together, didn't it? Fans and players.
Yeah, it was a great night for us, and as I say, we'll be looking for something similar now. If not, we to try and win the game. If not, get a point from it and not lose the game, and get a bit of momentum built up, which I think we did brilliantly last time, and that can hopefully like we did in the last campaign, carry us through to the end.
And like you, some of your teammates are not playing regularly for their clubs. How do you cope as a player with that, walking into a stage like this?
Well, they've got a lot of experience at this level and at the club level, so they'll be ready. Sorry. So they'll be ready. They've been training well anyway all week, and they look sharp. So I'm sure that fitness won't be an issue. If it was, the gaffer wouldn't pick them.
And you've done your homework on Janko, their big striker, their strike?
Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen the videos. Obviously, I know who he is. It's going to be a tough game, as it always is, and a physical battle, which is fine. We'll be ready for that.
Okay, thank you. We'll take a few questions in Welsh for Osian. Owen, and unless Osian says anything really controversial, I'll just let you carry on as an interview.
Fine. Osian, I ddechrau o ran sylwadau Marcel Coller, rheolwr Austria, wedi dweud yn gynharach heddiw i fod yn teimlo bod chi'n lwcus ar adegau yn ystod Ewro 2016 i gyrraedd y rownd derfynol. Sut ydych chi'n ymateb i'r sylwadau yna?
Wel, wrth gwrs, mae'n unrhyw gem o bêl-droed, wyt ti angen elfen o lwc i fynd dod o blaid i. Ond wrth gwrs, ar adegau hefyd gafon ni dipyn o anlwc, felly dros gyfnod o amser a dros gem fel arfer, yna mae o yn tueddu i fod yn rhywbeth tebyg. Ond da ni'n parchu y prif hyfforddwr Austria, Coller, oherwydd mae gynno fo record da, mae o'n brofiadol, mae wedi bod yn llwyddiannus. Felly mae gynno ni'r parch mwyaf tuag ato fo, ond yn edrych ymlaen i'r gem bwysig yma nos fory.
O ran Marcel Coller, beth arall nath o ddeud, oedd ei fod o'n teimlo mae chi ydy'r ffefrynnau clir i orffen ar frig y grŵp. Chi ydy'r prif ddetholion. Sut ydych chi'n mwynhau y pwysau yna yn ystod yr ymgyrch yma? Mae chi ydy'r ffefrynnau a mae chi ydy'r prif ddetholion, achos mae rhywbeth gwahanol dydy chi fel grŵp.
Yndi, ond diolch yn bwysig i ni. Yr unig beth sydd yn bwysig i ni ydy bod ni'n llwyddiannus yn y gemau rhagbrofol yma a fod ni'n cyrraedd Rwsia. Dyna di'r nod. Ac os da ni'n gwneud hynny bod ni'n ffefrynnau neu ddim, di hynny ddim yn bwysig o gwbl. Da ni ddim yn ffefrynnau tro dwytha. Mae nathon ni gyrraedd Ffrainc. Felly beth bynnag mae pawb yn feddwl ohona ni tro yma. Dydy hynna ddim yn cael fawr o argraff anna ni. Yr unig beth sy'n rhaid i ni wneud ydy parhau yn wneud y math o waith da ni wedi bod yn wneud, bod yn drylwyr, gwneud saff bod y darpariaethau wastad o'r safon ycha bosib. A mae hynna'n rhoi y llwyfan gorau bosib gobeithio i'r chwaraewyr yma fod yn rhoi o'i gorau. A dyna be maen nhw wastad yn wneud. Maen nhw'n chwarae calon, maen nhw'n rhoi bob dim allan ar y cae yna, ac allan ni'n mynd gofyn am fwy na hynny.
Ar bapur hon fydd y gêm anoddan y grŵp gan mae Austria ydy'r ail ddetholion, felly teithio oddi cartre i Vienna yn amlwg ddim yn mynd i fod yn hawdd. So ni'n cynnig gêm gyfartal i chi rwan, sa chi'n derbyn hynny?
Wel, gan i weld ar ôl y gêm, ti'n bod unwaith eto, da ni'n gweld bob gêm yn un galad. Da ni'n gweld hon y gêm galeta i ni o gwbl. Da ni'n gweld hon yn gêm eithriadol o galad. Ond da ni'n ymwybodol fod gynnon ni 8 gêm arall ar ôl hon, sydd ddim wedi fod yr un mor galad. Da ni wedi llwyddo i ennill y gyntaf. Da ni wedi cael pwyntiau ar y bwrdd, ond mae rhaid i ni barhau adeiladu ar hynny. Ac yr unig ffordd i wneud hynny wedi dod i lefydd fel hyn a pherfformio. A mae'r ffordd mae'r grŵp yma chwaraewyr wedi eiddfedu i chwarae oddi cartra yn erbyn tîmau fel Austria yn y blynyddoedd dwytha. Mae'n rhoi hyder i ni y gallan ni ddod i'r stadiwm yma nos fory a cael rhywbeth allan o'r gem.
Ac un arall, rhywbeth arall i ddod Marcel Coller yn ei gynhadledd oedd y bydden nhw'n rhoi 2 neu 3 chwaraewr i farcio Gareth Bale pan y byddwch chi yn ymosod. Mae gynnu fo ddigon i ddeud yn gynharach heddiw yma. O ran hynny, ydych chi'n poeni y bydden nhw yn ei dargedu fo? Da ni wedi gweld tîmau yn y gorffennol yn bod yn gorfforol dros ben pan mae Gareth Bale yn chwarae?
Wel, da ni'n disgwyl bydd na sylw ar Gareth oherwydd mae hynny'n digwydd yn wythnosol ac yn sicr mae o'n digwydd bob tro mae o'n chwarae dros di wlad. Felly mae hynna'n rhywbeth da ni'n ei ddisgwyl yn naturiol. Ond da ni hefyd efo'r parch mwyaf tuag at y swyddogion fydd yn gyfrifol am y gêm. Mae safon y swyddogion yn y gemau rhyngwladol da ni wedi bod yn nhw, wedi bod o'r safon uchaf, mae'r rhaid deud, a da ni'n disgwyl yr un safon eto nos fory, ac os bydd hynny'n digwydd yna, mi fydd y gêm yn cael ei chwarae yn yr ysbryd priodol. Felly, edrych ymlaen i'r sialans. Da ni yn edrych ymlaen i'r gemau rhagbrofol yma, sydd yn, wrth gwrs, yn mynd dros gyfnod o 19 mis, cyn bod 2 dîm, 2 wlad yn cyrraedd Rwsia. Felly, da ni'n gwybod bod gynnon ni lot o waith calad o'n blaenau ni, ac mae'r gwaith yna'n gorfod parhau nos fory.
Diolch yn fawr.